Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, the meeting. It has been the 30-day period since hashtag arbitrage went live, and many of us have already experienced that amazing results that we've achieved so far within this 30-day period. And there have been many other additional features and benefits for the community. And to mention of a few, let's talk about the rebuy feature in which has been made available for users to earn more and faster in the Audible network. And additionally, we do have the leaderboard or leader reward bonus pool also attached to incentivize leaders and team builders with their team build activities in this case. And there are many more other features and benefits hashtag arbitrage do have in store for the community. Now, let me introduce myself. I'm DAD Danawaji Da Costa, and I'm going to be your presenter for today's webinar meeting. And today's webinar meeting is going to be exciting, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to learn further or more about hashtag arbitrage, as many of us been really skeptical about it for the past 30-day period. All right, so let me share my screen if you guys are able to see my screen. Can you let me know in the chat box? Okay. All right, so please let me know if you guys can see my screen in the chat box. Just put in one in there. All right, good, 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 good. I'm glad you guys are able to see my screen. That means you are able to hear me loud and clear either. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, hashtag arbitrage has really been an amazing platform. And as many of us do know, this is a digital and social media platform. It has nothing to do with MLM, crypto forex trading, or any sort of, go trading, or anything basically like return on investments. No, it has nothing to do with the crypto markets and forex trading whatsoever. Now, hashtag arbitrage is on its very own path, and that is the digital and social media marketing industry. And this bridge in the advertising space. Yes, we're talking about advertising space. And in this space, over billions and millions of dollars are generated without a sweat. And little did we know that we can tap into this amazing industry to also generate those substantial results or amounts. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I introduced you one more time, hashtag arbitrage. This platform was developed by a group of, developers or people from different backgrounds or diverse, areas in this industry. We're talking about people in the digital marketing industry, those also in the network marketing, crypto, forex trading industry, and basically tech geniuses, all right? But mostly the developers are former employees of Binance, in which they decided to part ways with Binance and come up with their very own company. And in so doing, that is how come hashtag arbitrage was brought to life in this case. So this should tell us that we have a team of people that are behind this platform, and for that we cannot give credit or solely title to just an individual, because it's a group of people, a collective people coming together in developing this amazing platform. Now let's move on to the next slide, as I would like to make this presentation real quick. And before we get started in learning more about hashtag arbitrage, I would like us to, get to understand something really important here, ladies and gentlemen, as many of us have been, really skeptical about hashtag arbitrage, been asking how does hashtag arbitrage make money to reward its users. So if I'm to ask you guys that same question in with a twist, basically asking how does Facebook make money? Can you guys tell me how Facebook make money? Please write in the chat box if you know how Facebook make their money. All right. So basically, these companies, just like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and the other platforms, social media platform, leverages on their network in rendering advertising services, and that is how come they generate these revenues through that ads and as well as monetization. All right. So Facebook, now under Meta Platform Incorporation, makes money primarily through advertising. Yes. And here is a breakdown of how this works. So about, or let me say over 97% of their total revenues are generated through advertising. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Businesses and individuals pay Facebook to display targeted ads across Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and their audience, network. Yes. And I mean, we are all, aware that Facebook owns or is the ownership of Instagram, Messenger, and even WhatsApp, and these social media and messenger platforms are all linked into or are under the Meta Platform Incorporation, which they regulate or rule over these platforms, and in so doing, whatever advertising services they display across all these networks, or let me say these platforms, in advertising or promoting such campaigns, which helps drive traffic and also produce sales or revenues for their business owners or individuals that pays Facebook to render these advertising services. And again, Facebook collects detailed data on user behavior, interest, demographics, and online activity, which allows advertisers to target very specific audience. I don't know for you guys, but I, for one, I happen to be a digital marketing or agent. I own my own, like I do have my own marketing agency, and we render on these technologies, and I mean Facebook in this case, in advertising campaigns and running ads for our clients in this case. So mainly, just like we have on here with this information, that Facebook collects detailed data on user behavior, all right, with demographics and online activities, which allows them or allows us, the advertisers, to target very specific audience. So for example, if I would like to run an ad for people just in Africa, I'll have to select just some countries within the African continent, or probably just all countries in the African continent, to promote or run these ads on. So basically, the ad will be focused on those demographics, like those places, to advertise and promote whatever campaign that I chose to run on that particular section. For example, again, if I wish to just focus within my country, which happens to be, let's say, maybe people in the United States of America, then in that case, I'll only run the ad in the US and maybe specify some places which these ads are supposed to, reach out to. So, for example, if I'm to focus on people in Texas, I'll add Texas to it. If I'm to focus on people in NYC, where it's New York City, I'll do that. So it helps me target my advertising or campaigns with a specific audience which I'm looking for these ads to be showcased, all right, to them in this case. So Facebook do help us with all such technology, with such technology in specifying our ads and running them effectively to get the results that we need in this case. All right. So that is another way to look at it. And advertisers are charged based on impressions, which is CPM, click CPC, or action taking CPA. All right, we are going to learn into details what these abbreviations are, but for now, let's just focus on the facts. How does Facebook make their money? Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. So onto the second slide over here, which also talks about, I mean, yes, still Facebook, how they make their money and the revenues in this case. So aside the 97% which they generate through advertising, the remaining 3% also comes from other revenues, and that is what we have on here as the hardware sales and payments and fees, and subscription services which they provide. All right. So let's look at the hardware sales in this case. So devices like Meta Quest, formerly Oculus, VR headsets, smart glasses, and portable video calling devices. All right. These are devices which Facebook render in an art of selling, and in through these sales they also make revenues out of that. I don't know for you guys, but I think a couple of months ago I saw Mark Zuckerberg making a presentation of a VR headset which can actually bridge people from all walks of life, from different part of the world in this case, where all they have to do is just put on the VR headset, and in a virtual world similar to the way we see the real world, that is how it is over there, which people can communicate freely with their loved ones and others, like in a whole different world. I mean, I'm yet to experience that anyways, but I believe many of our brethren from the western part in this world are already experiencing that with the VR headsets, and we normally see these type of videos popping up on our timelines, which is quite interesting. Yeah, it brings in that realistic sort of a vibe, and at times it also helps when it comes to like playing these games, virtual games and stuff like that. You might have the feel that you are truly or really in the game, actively contributing to whatever actions that is happening in there. So that is one other way which Facebook goes about in making money or generating revenues. And onto the next is the payment and fees. All right, so there are small fees collected from in-app purchases, games, and some business tools. Okay, so I don't know for you guys, but I for one I really do like playing games, and I do have a specific game I play, and some of these games are connected through Facebook, or let me say they are partnered with Facebook or Meta in this case, in which at times when you play this game, there are some certain levels or some features or tools or some sort of like things that you need to get, and in so doing you have to make purchases of these items. All right, and once you do that, these revenues are also paid to Facebook in that case, especially when Facebook owns like they do have the ownership of that game, or they are partnered with them in a way which they also have part of the shares in sort of transaction. Yes, so that is another way that goes about in generating revenues. And let's look at the next one, which is the subscription services. Yes, so with the subscription services, new initiatives like Meta Verified, which offers a paid verification and support service for users and creators. So with this additional source of, let me say, revenue, which Facebook generates, is very popular in every social media platform. Exactly. So there are, users, or let me say, content creators, influencers, celebrities, and others that truly would like to verify their account. With this account verification, specifically gives them the title as verified Meta personnel. In this case, people cannot replicate their accounts, or try to pretend to be them in any way, because of that verification button which has been attached to their account, specify them as to be the true ownership or the real identity of that individual organization in this case. Okay, so there is not going to be a way people can pretend to be an organization whereof they don't have that Meta verified button attached to their account. So that is another way that goes about in generating revenues. Now, Facebook ads driven model thrives because of its vast user base. We are talking about billions of users here, ladies and gentlemen, and its ability to track and analyze user behavior across its platform. I think in our previous webinar meeting, I mentioned about that, like how Facebook goes about, knowing what you want, and all of a sudden on your timeline, you see those things being popped up. For example, let's say maybe you would like to buy a vacuum cleaner. You have some specific vacuum cleaner you want. You can go on Google, make a search, like looking through some advertising platforms or marketing platforms in order to, make a purchase of a vacuum cleaner. And just like that, once you go on Facebook, you'll start seeing these vacuum cleaner, ads or markets popping up on your timeline. You will be wondering and ask yourself a question like, what is going on? Are these people listening to my conversations or what? Or are they like some sort of like mirror your phone or laptop or whatever means it is in getting connected to the internet? Are they really, monitoring you in a way, or you really get confused. I've been there before, so I know what I'm talking about. I don't know for you guys. Yes, but all these happen through the arts or the this technology known as SEO. Yes, I think the full meaning is search engine optimization or something like that. With that, it connects these platforms, Google, YouTube, Facebook, and others, have that connections over there. So whenever you are looking or searching for something, all of a sudden they get these data and they start popping up those feeds on your timeline. All right. And you will be surprised, like thinking that, you are being monitored. No, you are not. It's just the technology at hand right now where the world is leading to the internet is winning and AI and these technologies are really taking over, everything basically. Yeah. So that is another way that goes about in tracking user behaviors and analyzing, these data to promote what you need in that case, all right, across your platforms. And also to mention of Facebook being a billion, let me say having a billion user database in this case. Okay, let's say Facebook at this moment, based on my knowledge, I think Facebook do have about 2 billion users. I think it's more, but based on my current understanding of the previous data in which I collected on the number of users on Facebook happens to be 2 billion. Now let's say just 5% out of these 2 billion, which will be 100 million users, okay, makes a decision or decide to run an ad, a single ad in a day on Facebook and purchasing this advertising service for just $10. All right. Each 100 million user running an ad for $10. Now let's multiply this $10 by 100 million users. We are talking about $1 billion in revenue for Facebook. That is how huge it is within this advertising space, ladies and gentlemen. And that is how much money Facebook is making over here. All right. So in this industry, there are a lot of ways to which these platforms that goes about in making money, and one of the major reasons it can be done or it is possible is through the act of monetization and also your network, because your network determines your net worth. If you have over millions of users, you can convert most of them into clients, into customers, into referrals, into partners, into whatever you wish to do that. All right. That is how come today most let's say YouTubers or content creators or influencers are able to leverage on their followers or subscribers in making sales or basically making money online, because they are able to render advertising services through their platforms as such in um creating sales or generating sales or traffic to their partners or clients, which they do have in that case. So basically they becomes like I mean digital marketers in that case, all right. But with companies like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and others, theirs is a whole different vibe. They are on a different level. They are out there talking about the number one in that case. Yes. So that is it, by the way. Let's move on to the next slide, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here is a pie chart breakdown of Meta or Facebook, the revenues that they generate. I think we've learned that already from the previous slide. So there's a pie chart we also illustrate, knowing that 97% of the revenues Facebook do make comes from the advertisements or from the advertisements in this case, and 3% comes in from the hardware sales and other services they render in this, case. All right, now let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so during the presentation, we came across these abbreviations, CPM, CPC, and CPA. And I know many of us will be wondering what they stand for or their meaning and functions in this case. All right, so let's begin off with CPM. I think I just skipped this. Let's go back. Yes, good. Yeah, so with CPM. So these are common pricing models used in online advertising. CPM, which stands for cost per mile, all right, meaning cost per 100,000, cost per 1,000 impressions. Okay, yeah. So this is how it works. Advertisers pay for every 1,000 times their ad is shown, regardless of whether it's clicked, and best for brand awareness campaigns. Exactly. This feature is best for that. If you really want your advertisements or campaign to be well seen out there, you have to go about this approach. An example, if the CPM is $5, the advertiser pays $5 for every 1,000 times the ad is displayed. All right, so for many of us, or let me say for some of us that have actually had a film or use, these type of advertising tools from Meta, which is Facebook, and other platform advertising, platform, will understand what CPM means basically. So with CPM, just as we know of, this helps creating awareness for your campaigns. All right, maybe you would like your post to reach out to an audience where people can pay attention or actually have a feel or watch whatever that you're trying to sell. If it is a video content or whatever it is, it will be targeted to people that pays attention to such things in this case. So before running these ads, there will be these specific, let's say maybe impressions or things that you like the ad to like the number counts that you're looking for in a form of like views, all right, in this case. So if you're looking for make like having 1,000 views in this case, and 1,000 views is uh, titled to a cost price of less than maybe $5, you means that okay, 1,000 views, you are paying $5, meaning 2,000 you'll be paying $10 or something in that case. So that is how it is with this approach, with CPM, cost per mile or mile in this case. All right. So that is it. Now let's move on to the next, which is the CPC, cost per click. Yes, that's definition alone should click in your mind, like let you understand what its purpose is. So meaning cost per click, how it works. Advertisers pay only when someone clicks on their ad. All right, and best for traffic focused campaigns. Exactly. So example is like driving users to your website or to a website. And example, if the CPC is 0.50 and 100 people click the ad, the advertiser pays $50 per, click. Exactly. You get what I mean? Yeah. So this is in the form of, just as it says, it defines itself, cost per click. When you run an ad, let me use this as an example. Okay. Let's say you like to promote your hashtag arbitrage business or link. In this case, you have either a banner ad or a video or something which you attach your link to it and run these ads. Now, your main focus is people clicking on your link to register with you or to sign up to your business or whatever it is. So once you run these ads and people click on the ads, that is when you are being charged of the number of clicks that you receive, which is basically deducted through whether you make payment through your Visa card or through maybe crypto or through a gift card or whatever it means it is. You will be charged based on that. So based on the number of people or number of clicks that takes effect through the advertisement, is what determines the cost as you, the advertiser, will pay to the company or advertisement company in this case. So with a similar I mean example we have on here, if the CPC is 0.50 cents per click and 100 people click your ad, then you as the advertiser will pay $50 in total for that number of click. So that is CPC for you, ladies and gentlemen, in this case. Now let's move on to the next, and that is the CPA, cost per action or acquisition. So, meaning cost per specific action, like a sale, sign up, or app install. How it works: advertisers pay only when the user completes a defined action after clicking the ad. Best for conversion-focused campaigns. Example, if the CPA is $10 for a sign up, the advertiser pays $10 for each completed registration. So CPA has a similar or slight, similarities with CPC in this case, but with CPA, just as it says or defines itself, cost per action, basically there has to be some sort of like an initiative or command which has to happen in order for this cost to take effect. So that is when you as the advertiser, when you run an ad and you specify that ad to be in the sense of like to generate sales or for signups or app install. So in a case, let's say maybe you like to people to install your app, and your target is for like 1,000 people to install your app, and once 1,000 people actually install the app, network, or let me say that technology, which happens to be the CPA, will collect these data, analyze them, and then brings out an invoice or a cost for you to pay. So if the cost happens to be like $10 for an app to be installed per person, and you have 1,000 people that install the app, that it means you are paying 10 times 1,000, and if my math is correct, that is $10,000 paid to the advertisement company in this case. Exactly. Yes. So that is how huge it is in this advertising space, generating such, I mean, crazy revenues in this case. And little did we know that we can tap into this industry, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, I believe this is clicking up, let you guys understand why hashtag arbitrage is quite different from whatever that we've ever experienced in this industry in the form of like making money online. All right. Now let's go further. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, yeah. So there's a comparison chart for CPM, CPC, and CP advertising models. Nothing big deal. We've already define these features and a specific tags in this place. Yeah, so let's move on to the next. How about TikTok and YouTube? How did they make their money? Yes. So once we've spoken about Facebook, how they make their money, it's about time we talk about TikTok and YouTube as well. How did they also make their money? So both TikTok and YouTube makes most of their money through advertising, but they also have additional revenue streams. Yeah, so it's similar to the way Facebook make their money, but with Facebook, over like 97% of their revenues are generated through ads. Yes. So now let's look at YouTube, which is owned by Google or Alphabet. So beginning with the very first, which is advertising revenue, that is their main source of income in this case. YouTube ads, pre-roll or mid-roll, and as well banner and overlay ads shown on videos. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys have had this encounter before where maybe you might be watching a video on YouTube, seriously watching a video on YouTube, and all of a sudden a 10-second video pop up will show up, which you need to watch that video to an end before you can skip the video to continue watching your video. All right, these are in that sort of advertisements, which is like pre-roll or mid-roll, and banner and overlay are shown on videos when you watch on YouTube. Okay, now advertisers pay based on CPM, CPC, or CPA models. In this case, they have it on there, specify these three courses. As an advertiser, which of these would you like to choose? Would you like to, for people just, view your content, as in having view counts in that case, then you will go for CPM. What about CPC? You want people to actually, click on the link, as in a case whereby maybe you are affiliated with a company, as in you do have eBay, or let me say Amazon, like as in partnership, with these companies, or as an affiliate marketer and others like that. You want people to actually visit your website in this case, then you have to select CPC. Now, with people that really want, users, or let me say people to take action. I'm talking about advertisers that want users to take action. Then you go in for CPA. In this case, they really have to complete that action for your, advertising costs to take effect in this case, where you pay to YouTube in this essence. All right. So they have it specified and categorized in these sections for you to decide which type of advertising command or principle you would like to take in that case. Now, YouTube shares ad revenue with content creators. With this, we know about it. All right. And they are known to be YouTubers. And typically 55% is paid to these creators and 45% is paid to YouTube. So YouTube leverages on their users, or let me say YouTubers, to make money. And also they pay off their YouTubers in that case. But in an actual sense, it's not every YouTuber that gets this reward, because myself, I'm a YouTuber, but I don't, get paid from from YouTube, because I need to become a premium YouTuber in this case to actually tap in those rewards. Yeah, so as just a YouTuber for fun in this case, without actually trying to make money from YouTube, in which I have to, first of all, subscribe to become a premium YouTuber, I don't earn all the views that I'm gonna make, or all the likes and comments, that engagement I'm gonna create on this network will just be in the benefit of YouTube. But I don't get anything on here. That's it over there. All right. So with YouTube shares and ad revenue with content creators, typically are paid to premium YouTubers in this case. And they pay them 55%, whereof YouTube takes 45% in this case. Now let's move on to the next. All right, so YouTube Premium, a paid subscription service where you usually pay monthly to watch videos without ads. So, during this presentation, I made a statement, if you guys recall, like a few minutes ago, where I said there are times you might be watching videos on YouTube and all of a sudden a video will pop up on your feed. Okay, and you will have to, wait for that video. At times it's in like 5 seconds or 10 seconds for that video to complete before it continues, or you can continue watching your video in that case. Now there are some people, they hate that, including myself. I hate it, but I don't have time to be paying off monthly subscription just for a 10-second video not to be popping up on my feed. So for people that truly hate that, for them, they goes ahead in paying off these subscriptions, whereof it is a monthly subscription basically, and they don't get these ads popping up on their feed any longer. They just watch their video peacefully and happily in that manner. All right. Yes, and I know a friend of mine, his kids do have they do watch YouTube Kids most of the times, like cartoons and these animations and stuff, and the kids always complain about the ads popping out. So my friend have no other choice than to subscribe to that service, where when their kids are watching these cartoons and animations like that, those um video ads wouldn't be popping up on their feed, which it's all good anyways. All right. Yeah, so that is a typical example with a paid subscription service where users have to pay monthly to watch videos without ads. Now, YouTube pays creators a share of premium revenue based on watch time. Yeah, based on watch time. So I don't know if you guys have paid attention to this. there are YouTubers which do have a channel on Facebook. Oh, sorry, I mean on YouTube, which they render some specific streaming content. It could be in episodes, or it could be in series, or just one time, like a show or something. And basically, they are entertaining their audience. And in this case, there are some audience really do, enjoy or have fun keeping tabs with these activities, or let me say with these videos and contents and skits like that. So in this case, YouTube pays their creators, or let me say like YouTubers or creators, content creators in this case, like part of the premium revenues based on a watch time. All right. So I don't know. Let me use this guy as an example. I think his name is Bitcoin Boy or Bit Boy or something like that. He normally um runs a live stream. He talks about anything related to crypto investments, forex, MLM, whatever, anything digital money or technology licensing online stuff. He do have these discussions with his audience, and he's having about like over millions of users, or sorry, subscribers to his channel. And I mean, this guy is really cashing out from such activities. So in this case, Facebook, I'm sorry, why do I keep using Facebook in reference to YouTube? All right. So YouTube pays such folks, part of these premium revenues based on the watch or time that they host these live streams in that case. All right. So that's a typical example on there. And there are many other YouTubers also in line of, such career or activities which goes on the YouTube platform. Okay. Sorry. Now, moving on to the next, where is channel memberships and super chats. Fans pay to become a channel members or send super chat during live streams. Once again, I'm gonna use this guy, BitBoy or Bitcoin Boy, whatever it is, as an example down here. So this individual, oh yes, that reminds me. This guy to Mr. Beast, yes. So they do have these channels to themselves, which they host their activities, or I mean their skits and episodes like that. And like I said, there are some users or fans that really entertain themselves with these type of things. So for them, they don't have any other choice than to becoming a channel member by subscribing or paying a fee to become that, and as well, contribute to the super chats which goes on during the events or live streams and stuff like that. Okay, there are to even make it more understandable, OnlyFans happens to be, I mean, you guys know what that platform is, all right? And there are some of you that have subscribed to that platform. For me, I don't have time for those things, but those of you that subscribes to that platform knows how it operates. But to me, based on my understanding on how the channel members and these channel subscription base happens in YouTube and as well on TikTok, slightly gives me the idea how OnlyFans will also operate. So there are things which goes on live streams, and people engage with the streamer in a way where they can even reward them with money, as in digital or virtual money. All right. So you pay for sounds like I think how is that even done? You either make a deposit, buying virtual money or coins, and you can, pay them off as in a form of like gifts, yeah, or reward in the form of like gifts to the streamers. And that way, you also entertain yourself with whatever activities which is ongoing and stuff like that. So that's a typical example as a fan base or a channel member in this contest. All right. Now, YouTube takes a cut around like 30% of such of the revenue that is produced for such streamers. Okay, that is in the case of YouTube, and this is a fact. They take 30% from those revenues, and 70% goes to the streamer. Basically, in this way, it's a win-win situation, and it's fair. All right, yes. And YouTube shopping and affiliate programs. web of creators can, sell products through integrated stores or link to products via affiliate programs. I mentioned of, let's say maybe you having a partnership with Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, other um, digital or e-commerce platforms in that case, where you are an affiliate, member. With such affiliate programs, you can simply integrate your link into some sort of like these ads or sell products on YouTube, and that as well, will help you generate sales and basically make money from side activities. So YouTube provides such features as in the shopping and affiliate programs for people to also consider that feature in making money. Yeah, so that is another way to go about this. Now, TikTok, yes. How does TikTok also make money in this case? So TikTok is owned by ByteDance, and their advertising revenue or main source, comes basically from advertising, similar to the other two, which is Facebook and YouTube. And TikTok offers in-feed ads, top view ads, branded hashtag challenges, and branded effects. These are paid by advertisers on a CPM, CPC, or flat rate basis, depending on the format and region. So, I mean, many of us here do own or have an account with TikTok, or at times, there are times we engage ourselves in these, challenges and stuff which goes on TikTok. And that is how they also goes about in creating awareness, generating traffic, and through the art of monetization, they makes money in all these type of things, guys. So with TikTok, just as they have one here, in feeds ads, top view ads, branded hashtag challenges, and branded effects. So there are times you see our ladies come up with some effects and they follow up with this, thing, and it trends on TikTok. And as these engagements are going on, TikTok are really cashing out behind the scenes. The same applies to branded hashtags, challenges in this case. And that's, relates similar to hashtag arbitrage in this, case. Because with a branded hashtag challenge, basically creates awareness or generate traffic to a specific hashtag campaign in that case. And I mean, that is a way they also goes about in promoting whatever service they have to render for a particular company or an influencer or some sort of an activity which that hashtag has been basically, um, 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 attached to, such content or post. So it's similar to how hashtag arbitrage also goes their ways in this type of, advertisement or marketing. All right. Yes. Now let's move on to the next. Yes, so TikTok Creator Fund. With this, TikTok pays creators based on video performance, but the payouts are relatively low. I mean, we've all experienced this, or we are victims to that, Yeah, so as a content creator, there are times you create a content or a video and people will leverage on your video, especially when it do have some sort of like a meme in within that video. You'll see people cropping that part and using it in their video content and stuff like that. So basically TikTok, one thing I like about them is they do give recognition to who deserves it, to the ones or the original of that video content. And with that, they also pay you some sort of like rewards in that. It's in the form of like royalties, but I wouldn't put it that way. You get what I mean? Yeah. But the payouts are not, that, yeah. So it's like it is low. You are earning, but it's not as significant to, engaging in other tasks, which really produces that, massive returns or rewards in that case. So that is a similar, or let me say an example to that, to the TikTok Creator Fund in this case, and funded directly by TikTok. So this is something TikTok commission those rewards, freely without any sort of engagement or activities where you have to be asking to pay them to get this reward whatsoever. No. Yeah, so it's not shared from the ad revenue like YouTube does, yes, but this is something TikTok rewards to such creators in that case, helping with their content creations activities in the form of like rewards, which is beautiful. All right. Yeah, so that is it with TikTok Creator Fund. Now let's move on to the next. So here is a summary table on all of what we've learned so far. We have YouTube, TikTok on here, the advertising, CPM, CPC. So the primary revenue sources and other revenue streams, which I mean combines in a way to produce these revenues for YouTube and TikTok is what has been documented on here as well. So let's move on to the next. So the main revenue streams for YouTube and TikTok, virtual gifts and coins. Yes, TikTok also do have that where people deposit real money for virtual gifts and coins, which they can gift it to or gift these coins and I mean gifts, parcels, whatever it is to the live streamers in this case. Yes, and TikTok shop and live commerce where people also set up shops and on TikTok to advertise their business and stuff like that. Creator Fund, we spoke about that. Advertising, CPM, branded, all that too. We are very much aware of that. And with YouTube shopping and affiliates, yes, we've learned into details how that goes about. Memberships and super chats, yeah, we also look into that as well. YouTube Premium and advertising CPM and CPC. All right, so let's move on to the next. Oh, okay. For some reason, my share screen went off. Let me reconnect. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let me know if you guys can see my screen. Um, Oh, okay. Actually, that brings us to the end of this presentation. Well, okay, it's all good in a way. All right, let me start sharing and let's discuss further. Okay. I mean, you guys, I believe, you guys are really having fun over here and also, acquiring more knowledge about these advertisements, industries and as well learning it's actually, opening your mind to something about hashtag arbitrage, right? Yeah. So, all right, let's talk further, guys. So now that we've all seen how giants like, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok are making billions. Yes, billions just from ads. It should, start to click for you why hashtag arbitrage makes so much, sense in this case. Let me share my screen. Give me a moment. I want to open this. Let me go back to okay. All right. Sorry guys, just a moment.